What's going on, Clipper Nation? It's your boy, Coach D, and I'm back here with another sports review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the fall of the Clippers to the Mavericks in the 7-game series. This was an exciting series, but me personally, I've been seeing online and people trying to defend Ty Lue and it wasn't his fault and this type of stuff. Let me know what y'all think at the end of this video. I wasn't going to make these videos after we lost because what's the point of making them? For me, I'm hoping that somebody from the Clipper organization watches this YouTube channel and somehow can get this to Lawrence Frank or Ty Lue so that the Clippers can win, because I care about this team. I want them to win. But after we lost, it was like, what was the point? Now, did the Clippers have any chance of winning a championship without Kawhi Leonard being healthy? No. Were the Clippers going to be able to beat OKC in the next round without Kawhi being at least 75% healthy? Probably not. But could we have won this series against the Mavs with better coaching? My answer is yes. And it's not just because, oh, I think so, I'll be on the couch. No, I really do this stuff. And you guys that watch my videos, y'all know that what I'm showing you on film, right, what I'm explaining, this stuff is accurate, right? And coaching can beat talent in sports. This isn't tennis. Tennis is a one-on-one sport where your talent versus the other person's talent is probably going to be the difference between you winning and losing. But in a team sport like basketball, coaching is so important, and we've seen it plenty of times in the past where less talented teams have beaten way more talented teams, even in the playoffs, just because of coaching, right, and strategy. And for Ty Lue, for me, it's just way too much spitballing. Like, he's just throwing stuff out there. There's no coherent, cohesive decision and plan for what we're going to do. Just throwing stuff out there to see if it works. What the Mavs were doing to us defensively was so clear. They're running this 3-2 cheat off the corner, the weak side corner type of zone. And there's a lot of fixes to that, but the two main ones that I want to talk about right now before we get into the clips is, number one, you could put in Daniel Theis. Daniel Theis is not an amazing three-point shooter, but he is a center on our team who can space the floor. What this would do, it would take Daniel Gafford or Lively and them out of the paint. They would be forced to, otherwise they're getting a 3-second call, or they're leaving Daniel Theis wide open for three. And if Daniel Theis catches any type of rhythm, he is a professional NBA player. You leave a professional NBA player who practices threes and hits them in practice, you give him wide open shots in the game, it is a matter of time before they start making them. And that is going to be bad, defense from the Mavs if he starts getting in rhythm and starts making those shots. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be Norman Powell, right? Because if you cheat off the corners and you have Norman Powell or Terrence Mann wide open in the corner, then Terrence Mann has showed in this series, I think he shot, I won't say a number, but he shot extremely well from the corner in this series. Norman Powell is one of the best shooters in the NBA. And to my surprise, the Clippers, we were down 13 with 6 minutes to go, right? And we put Norman Powell in with James Harden, with Paul George, and with Terrence Mann. And Norman Powell was able to attack that corner and lead to us having an 18-6 run to close the second half. And one of the biggest things that I couldn't stand was after we make that, being down double figures and then making that 18-6 run to close the second half, Ty Lue comes back in and has PJ Tucker starting. And you say, well, PJ gives you defense and this and that. One, the defense doesn't matter because the Mavs run pick and roll. So PJ Tucker's on-ball defense might be great, but getting over screens at 40 years old isn't the easiest thing in the world. And that's what the Mavs were going to run at him anyway. But offensively, we needed to be able to score, and I want you to look at this clip, okay? And this is what Ty Lue decided to put back out there coming out of halftime. So you got PGs coming around the screen. Notice, Luka is standing right in the paint. He's not guarding PJ Tucker from three. They're cheating off the corners. Zoo gets the little drop-off. Notice, they're not guarding the corners. I don't know what James is doing. He probably shouldn't even be in the corner. But if he's going to be in the corner, you need to be ready because they're not going to guard it. They're going to the Mavs were putting three people in the paint the entire series. Anytime somebody gets a foot in the paint, we got three people waiting for him. And this is PJ Tucker wide open for three. A miss. Now, if this is Terrence Mann, if this is Norman Powell for the Clippers, you say that is a great shot. That is exactly what we want, because there's probably a 50% chance this wide open that ball is going in there or higher. But for P.J. Tucker, he hasn't had these type of minutes. P.J. Tucker is way past his prime, and it's a miss. And this is going to end up leading to a missed possession for the Clippers. Now, by the time that Norman Powell is able to check back into this game, the Clippers are going to end up being down 9 points. And that type of run, right, when you had a unit that had an 18-6 run, that type of run right there is enough to, especially when you're playing a team that can score like the Mavs, enough to end up pushing the game out of reach by the time that you get people in that can score the ball. Now, the other gripe that I have, we're going to go look at this next clip, is the drop coverage. The Mavs ran one offensive set this entire series, and it was pick and roll. And the Clippers, we ran a lot of different coverages against it, but one of them that it should have never been was drop coverage. When we play drop coverage against the Mavericks, it would always lead to a foul, an and one, a lob to Derek Lively or Gafford because they're rolling, or a wide open corner three because we're cheating. It would have been so much better for us to just play, switch basketball with the Mavs, whoever it is, switch them on to Luka, because that would have taken away all those other things that I named. And because Luka wasn't terribly efficient this series, it actually would have worked out better for the Clippers than what it did. Watch this. Now, notice the screen from Lively's going to come here. And Mason isn't in like crazy drop coverage, and you really can't against Luka because he'll just shoot that three. But this is too much. You need to trap Luka or something, because you can't drop like this. You can't give him this type of step, this type of space on you, because look what's going to happen. He's just going to cross you, drive, and one. And that's too easy. Notice what's going to happen here, though. Lively's going to set the screen on Terrence Mann. You got Zoo on Luka. And in 2021, this would have been lethal. But for this series, it really wasn't. Luka wasn't crazy efficient. You just switch and hope he misses. And the crazy thing was, there's a lot of times that Zubac switched on to Luka this series, and he wasn't killing them every single time. A lot of times he missed that three. And notice here, right? Notice who's on the floor right now. Norman Powell and Terrence Mann, right? The people that I told you helped lead to this run. Watch what happens here. So Luka is not guarding anybody. He thinks that he's going to sit here and not guard this corner. But Josh Green is actually guarding Norman Powell. So, and Josh Green is like, Luka, I mean, are you crazy? I'm not about to sag off in the paint like you're doing. This is Norman Powell. If he gets this wide open three, that's going to be huge. So guess what? That leads to Terrence Mann having a wide open three, because once again, what did I say? They're cheating off the corners. They're cheating off these people. James Harden's about to have a wide open three if it will get over there to him. They're cheating off the corners. And that's what Luka was intending to do here on Norman Powell. But Josh Green was like, nah, brother, we're not doing that. And that left Terrence Mann wide open for three. Cash. Now, the only issue is that you say switching your big onto Luka, which I already said, will risk it, right? Because he wasn't killing us from outside. Zubac was actually staying with him much better than he did in 2021. The issue would be, Kyrie. Switching Zubac on to Kyrie would be a very dangerous situation. But you just tell Zubac, don't give him threes, let him drive, and when he gets down here, we will help you. We'll send a late double team, or we will collapse off the opposite side to where we have two people jumping at Kyrie and it's not just you by yourself. Don't give him the three. And that is better than letting lobs happen, these easy lobs for Gafford and Lively that we saw the whole series, seeing these wide open corner threes for the Mavericks because you're cheating off the corners to help with the pick and roll. All these different type of problems just go away if you just say we're going to switch our big onto Luka, switch our big onto Kyrie. And if they get hot, sure. Can that lead to, bad results? Definitely. But what that's going to do is it's going to isolate the other people. You're making Kyrie and Luka have to beat you by themselves. You're not letting Gafford and Lively get in double figures. You're not letting Maxi Kleber get in double figures. You're not letting these other guys beat you with Kyrie and Luka, because they're going to get theirs. Don't let the other people beat you. And that's what that had prevented. But what did we decide to do? Play drop coverage all the time. Double team and blitz from 40 feet all the time. In this series, the only games that the Mavs have won, other than one game, is when they have three other people outside of Kyrie and Luka in double figures. But if you change this coverage, then you make it so much more difficult for Lively and Gafford and PJ Washington and Maxi Kleber to get in the double figures, because you're not giving them the wide open corner threes anymore. You're not giving Lively and Gafford these easy rolls to the basket, because now they're going to have to play one-on-one. You're not cheating off of them, anything. You're just living with Luka and Kyrie by themselves having to beat you. And the one game that they did, quote-unquote, do that, because they didn't have three guys going to double figures, other guys, is when Kawhi got back. That first game, game 2, where Kawhi got back and Clippers shot 26% from three, and Kawhi had the most shots on the team, and he didn't even have 20 points, right? So this could have changed the series. One small adjustment. This next video that I'm going to make is going to be about, is this Ty Lue's fault offensively?